What if this was the year where everything changes for the better and all you had to do was master the art of planning and execution? We are now well into the new year. It's a time where everyone has a plan, everyone has a vision in their minds as to what they want to be at the end of this year. However, the vision alone is not going to get you to the person you envision yourself becoming at the end of this year. As much as I would love for you to sit and watch my video and other videos relating to how to become a better version of yourself and how to rebrand for the year, watching these videos alone is just merely a step to get into that person. So let's talk about how we're actually going to execute our plan for the year. So we're talking about planning the success of 2025. But before you do that, pause for a second and reflect on what the previous year looks like for you. A reflection period is very important in order for us to see where we came from, where we are, and also envision where we want to go. Me personally, I needed a reflection period. I definitely needed to sit down and look at what wasn't working for me last year because I didn't want to follow the same path in 2025 and be disappointed at the end of the year when I realized I did not achieve the same goal that I set. You can't do the same things expecting different results. Planning has changed my life in so many ways. The first time I ever made a plan for myself was through a vision board. I came up with this cute little vision board. I plastered pictures of everything I wanted to be at the end of the year. And it was nice. It was nice to get to the end of the year and see that, oh, the things that I mentally manifested at the beginning of the year did come to pass at the end of the year. That was nice. However, the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that just plastering pictures on a board is not exactly going to get me to achieve my big goals. So, what are we going to do in this year? If you decided to watch 10 videos on how to set your goals for the year, you're probably going to get 10 different ideas of how to do that. So, with so many methods of setting goals, you want to do what works for you. I am going to give you a method of how I set my goals. You can follow this method, refine it, or choose a method that works best for you. This is just something that I've used in the past and that gave me excellent results. So last year, I started a goal setting method that was dividing my year into quarters. So in each 3-month interval, I feel like I'm having a new year. The reason why I did this is because when I set my goals throughout the year for the 12-month period, I get overwhelmed by it because 12 months is a very long time for us to follow the same set of goals. There's nothing wrong with this. It just wasn't working for me. So planning my year out in quarters made sense for me because it gave me a period of time that worked for me to achieve those goals. Or maybe I don't achieve the goals in 3 months, I can carry it into the next quarter. At least I know that I have a period that I am changing my goals and also checking in with myself. How I do this is in each quarter, I break my goals down into different categories: a health and wellness category, career and development category, a relationship and or social category, finance category, and a spiritual category. This can be different for anyone. This was just the brackets that made sense for me. So in each of these categories, I list 3 to 4 goals. The reason why I list 3 to 4 goals in this category is because I want it to be digestible for me. In fact, this year I've reduced it to 2 to 3 rather than 3 to 4 goals, just because I want these goals to make sense to me and for me to have an ample amount of time to achieve the goals that I have set out and I don't overwhelm myself. At the end of the day, you're the one making these plans. You know what you're capable of. So you don't want to overwhelm yourself just because it's a new year and you want everything to happen at once. You have 12 months. That's a long time to achieve whatever you set up for yourself. And if you don't even achieve those goals in 12 months, you have next year to do it. I think we get so carried away in wanting to achieve everything in a short period of time just to show that we did it, that we forget that the journey is also as important. Now, whatever method you've chosen to set your goals, you want to make sure that you create systems and routines to actually implement these goals in your everyday life. Let's say you came up with a financial goal of saving $5,000 by second quarter. You have to create a system and a routine to make sure that you're putting a certain amount of money into that saving fund to get to that amount. You can't just write it down and hope that one day you're just going to cough up $5,000 into your saving fund. There are so many different ways you can choose to create systems and routines for yourself. For me, I use my daily planner and I also use Notion. Me and Notion this year, we are besties. A friend of mine introduced me to Notion early last year and I tried to get into the system. It was too overwhelming for me, but I set a goal to learn how to work Notion and I did that. I achieved that goal. Now I know how to use Notion and I use it to create systems for every area of my life. Through Notion, I have weekly, monthly, daily planners. I also have my meal prep schedule, my gym schedule, my career and development plans with actionable steps for me to follow. So, again, you can use whatever systems work the best for you. This is just what I use personally. If you're interested in me showing you how I create my systems in Notion, I am more than happy to show you. I am not a Notion pro, however, I'm always willing to show people whatever they need in order to help them elevate their lives. Now, Notion is a digital aspect of creating systems. Some people are more so versed in writing. So, with that, I would suggest a planner. I have a planner myself. I need a daily to do list that I can stare at and I can write into. So, a planner is really beneficial in doing so. As I'm talking about planners, I actually have my handy dandy planner here with me. I am more so of a compact planner person. They have really huge planners that you can plan your entire year in. However, this doesn't work for me. It's never worked for me. I like having a planner that is very compact and I can carry around every day. This planner, as compact as it is a monthly, daily, and weekly planner. However, I don't use the monthly aspect of this just because I plan everything out in Notion, as I've mentioned. So I don't want to repeatedly plan on different platforms because all that does is confuse me. So I use this on a weekly and daily basis, especially for work because I want to visually see what I'm doing for work. However, for other aspects of my life, I use Notion to do so. There's so many ways and different platforms that you can use to create systems and routines for yourself. So make sure you find something that works for you, that you actually use, and that you can continue using for the rest of the year. So now you've reflected on the previous year and also this new year. You set clear goals for yourself. You've created systems and routines to make sure you're following those goals. What is next? You have to remember to check in with yourself. Remember throughout the year, you're only human. Just because you set these big goals for yourself and you get halfway through the year and you realize, I actually have not started following a system to get to this goal, that's okay. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to be disappointed in yourself and give up because you haven't even started. You can even start a goal in November to achieve it in December. And like I mentioned before, if you don't have it achieved at the end of this year, that is okay. We have next year and the year after that and the one after that for you to achieve these goals. And also, checking in with yourself is important for you to refine these goals that you set. There might be some goals that you realize midway through the year, I actually don't really want this anymore. That's okay. You can change it up. That's the fun part about creating these goals for yourself. You are setting it for yourself, not somebody else, not your mom, not your significant other. You're doing this for yourself. So you have the ability to change things up as you go. That's the beauty of all of this. So check in with yourself as much as you would like. Some people might want to check in weekly, monthly, or quarterly, like I say I do mine. Even though I recreate my goals in quarters, I check in with myself at different intervals. I check in with myself weekly when I'm recreating my to-do list for the week. I check in with myself monthly just to see how I'm doing generally. And then I also check in with myself quarterly. These check-ins are very different. So however that works for you, just make sure that you're taking the time to check in with yourself so that you're not just on go, go, go. You're not a robot, you're human. Sometimes you might even check in with yourself and realize, I actually need someone to keep me accountable on some of these goals. That's fine. Find an accountability buddy, whether it's your best friend, your sibling, your significant other, or your accountability buddy can be yourself. But if you got to a point where you realize I might need somebody to keep me accountable, it might be because you're not keeping yourself accountable. That is fine. Find somebody to keep you accountable. It could be God, whatever that might be. Just make sure you're flexible with how you're setting and achieving these goals. You can even decide you don't want to set a goal for yourself this year. If that's what works for you, hey, to each his own. However, I am a very big believer in creating a map for the journey you're about to take in life. I don't like driving anywhere blind, and I wouldn't suggest it to you either. Do what makes you happy and what brings you joy and fulfillment. So make sure you're finding some joy in creating these goals for yourself. Make sure future you is happy and present you is also happy. Don't forget present you. This is a journey. It's not something that's going to happen overnight or something that might even happen by December. It might be March of 2026 that you meet that goal, and that is fine too. With all of that being said, I wish you all the luck. I wish success on all of us. I am so excited to see what this year has in store for me and you as well. Let me know what you're getting into this year. I would love to learn something new. If there's a way you set your goals that you want to share with others, I could learn from that. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.